All right. We are live. A little bit early. What's up, Southern Yankee? Nice to have you here as always. Hope you're doing well. Let's do a little bit of intro music. Why not? Why not? All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody, to a morning talk about some things and stuff. What's up, Sin? Nice to have you here. What's up, Rib Guy? Big Chief in the house. What's up, Hefe? Brenda Baldoff. Welcome to you, lovely Brenda. Nice to have you here, Southern Yankee, the venerable, wonderful Southern Yankee. Welcome. Nice to have you all here. We got some stuff to talk about. Um, Nothing super major, but it's major in the grand scheme of things. What's up, Cricket Cinema? Nice to have you here as well. Um, so last night, I don't know if you guys caught the live last night. I know Brenda was in there. Mater, what's up? Nice to have you here. But one thing I want to talk about, unless you guys have stuff to talk about, right? And I'll talk about that stuff. But we're going to start. Actually, we're not going to start with last night. We're going to start with what's going on in Nepal. Somebody asked me, please ask me, uh, what's going on with Nepal in chat. What's up, King Charles? Nice to have you here as always, sir. Um, Somebody asked me, what's going on with Nepal? And then I'll tell you. I'll wait for somebody to ask me. I'm not going to tell you guys if you're not interested, but it's actually this is a big story, y'all. Huge story. And I'm sure you guys are going to really be curious how this ties into stuff here going on in the good old US of A. So somebody asked me, what's going on in Nepal? uh, who's Paul? Okay, I'll take that. That's good enough, Big Chief. What's going on with RuPaul? RuPaul is still fabulous, King Charles. Okay. So what's up, Beachcomber? Nice to have you here. Beachcomber, I'm glad you're here because from what I gather, you're a very proud Brit. Am I wrong in that assertion, Beach? I mean, there be maybe some things that you're not proud of your government and stuff like that, but for the most part, I'm pretty sure that you're a Brit, right, Beachcomber? I'm gonna tie this all in. Watch, you guys are gonna be amazed, or not, you know, or not. Welcome on in, by the way, Beachcomber. Nice to have you here. So there's some shit going on in Nepal, y'all. And I mean major shit. Yes, Beachcomber, yes, yes. So, Beachcomber, I want to ask you this question before we talk about Nepal. And you might ask, what does that have to do with the price of onions, right? Well, you'll find out. So, Beachcomber, let me ask you this. Does your media censor world news like the United States does? Does it censor what's going on in other countries, like we do all the time? What's up, Moses? Nice to have you here. I'm really curious, Beachcomber. Let me know. Does the British media censor what's going on in the world? And then I'm going to talk about our hatred in this country for a certain app and how it's unfounded. But I wanna know, does the British media censor, like, world news? Like, in other words, like, do you guys, like, get the straight goods? Like, is there good reporting in Britain, Beachcomber? I'm actually really curious about this because I'm pretty sure I know the answer because I've seen a little bit of British news. And from my perspective here, we don't get even a quarter of the world news that we should be getting. And there's a very specific reason for that. Does anybody does anybody wonder why the government took a huge interest in TikTok? The United States government? Anybody ever wonder that? Not usually, but I don't read the tabloids. Depends on who owns the media company. Well, okay, well that's fair. But it's not censored, right? Beachcomber. I mean you could probably pick up a local newspaper or digital newspaper and there's some decent reporting on world events, I'm guessing. Whether it's the United States or I don't know, in this case Nepal. So let's talk about TikTok for just a second. In this country, there was a huge, huge push to ban TikTok in this country. Does anybody know why TikTok, the government in this country really wanted to silence TikTok? Because they like us world dumb. 100%. CBF, by the way, welcome. The lovely CBF is in the house. What's up, Carol? I'm going to tie all of this stuff in. Trust me, guys, there's methods to my madness here, right? In this country, there has been a bipartisan effort yeah, Palestine's another perfect example, Carol. Carol, that's a great point. I don't blame most of the people in this country for thinking that what Israel is doing is okay because we don't care. These are foreigners, right? Why should we care? Why should we care what's going on in Palestine, right? The Palestinians are terrorists, according to our media, right? Meanwhile, Israel is basically doing a genocide, not the Israeli people, right? This is the Israeli government that's doing this, right? So people in it is connected, Carol, and I'm going to connect it all. In this country, we're conditioned to hate Palestine. If you look at I don't care if it's right or left media, right? Israel is the king of the world. No matter what Israel does, we love it. We love it. Why is that? Is it because of money? The simplest, you know, kind of explanation for stuff? The Israeli government that the US helped create? 100% King Charles, right? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not a fan of any terrorism at all. Whether it's domestic terrorism, whether it's worldwide terrorism, I can't stand any of it, right? It's okay to say two things and be right because two things can be true at the same time, right? No, I'm saying the opposite, chilled. I'm saying the opposite, chilled. What I'm saying is if you listen to our media in the United States will tell you that all Palestinians are Hamas. That's what I'm saying. And unequivocally, that is absolutely untrue. If we started showing exactly what the United States or what Israel's government was doing to uh, the actual Palestinian people, aka bombing schools with children in them, or Hospitals, maybe the United States, the people of the United States would have a different view. Nurse D says Israel just tried to take people's free speech away, 1A, but got pushback. So Netanyahu had to back off a bill, but it's still being pushed again in the future. Yeah, 25 years, he needs to go. That is because if the Jews stop roaming and find a land to settle in, we get to have the second coming and they get to go to the heaven and leave us dregs here. Oh, well, religious wars, CBF. Jackie, good morning. I have never heard the media saying that. Really, Chilled? They won't out and out say it, but they'll bring up Hamas at every turn. Oh, that hospital had to be bombed because, you know, those kids could have been hiding Hamas. Trump is trying. I'm going to get to that in just a second, Southern Yankee. Trump is trying to censor us all, and everybody should be on full alarm. Ice Maiden, welcome. I agree, Carol. You know, we can be critical of the Israeli government, and we can also be critical of Hamas, can we not, Carol? I'm not here to broker a Middle East peace deal. I'm here to point out some connections in Southern Yankee. Let's talk about that for just a minute, right? Jimmy Kimmel, as much as people may hate him, like him, whatever, I don't care. I mean, he wasn't my favorite. Yeah, we're going to end up losing free speech, Southern Yankee, 100%. This Jimmy Kimmel thing is very concerning. The Colbert thing, it all ties in. Just because somebody criticizes, I don't give a fuck if it's Obama, Trump, Biden, you know, Chuck Schumer. Well, are we not supposed to be allowed to criticize? And now we got to bend to the will of a president? Are you fucking kidding me? The trickle effect is going to be real, y'all. And it's going to trickle down to the tech companies like YouTube eventually, right? And I've told you guys, I'm nonpartisan. I think the whole system needs a rework. I believe in the Constitution, right? Including the Second Amendment. It all needs to be redone. All of it. Now, let's talk about Nepal. I want to show you guys something that you won't see in the United States media. And I have to use TikTok to find things like this. Now, I'm not going to explain what I'm going to show you. I'm just going to show you. Okay? Let me rewind this video a little bit. Now, look at this. Right? A tourist bus that appeared in the middle of a Gen Z protest is now trending. Okay? You're uh, you're kind of wondering, why is this video trending? A bunch of Nepalese people waving at a tourist bus in the middle of a protest. So weird, right? These people that were told to hate, these foreigners, these brown skinned people waving at a bunch of tourists in the middle of a very important protest, which I'll get to in a minute. Freedom Nuts, welcome. Nice to have you here. I agree, Brenda. I believe in the Constitution, the idea. How it's implemented, lots to be desired there. I want you guys to look at these people waving at these tourists in Nepal in the middle of something that happened in Nepal. Now, for those who aren't in the know, and I wouldn't blame you if you didn't know anything about what was going on in Nepal, because even if you look it up on Google, there's a lot of censorship going on. A lot of what's going on in Nepal is being scrubbed. You have to dig. You have to go to places like TikTok. This country wanted to ban TikTok because they were afraid the Chinese would influence things, right? It's a Chinese owned social media company. You know the thing about TikTok though? They're going to show you things like this. They're going to actually show you the protest, which is way more than a protest. It was a revolution. You know what happened in Nepal? The Nepalese people, more specifically the Gen Z kids, younger people, got sick of the corruption. Yeah, no face. The government thinks they can take an eraser to the Constitution and we'll just forget what it says. 100% I agree. That's bullshit. None of us are going to forget what that Constitution says, right? Especially the first few amendments, right? So, what's going on in Nepal, y'all? They were in full revolution mode. They were sick of the corruption of the government. Sick of the fucking corruption, right? They tried to take away social media from its constituency. And you know what they did? They got out in the streets and not only did they protest, they literally burned it to the fucking ground. The military couldn't stop them. Hey, Fuzz. Nice to have you here. You're never late. You're fine. Never obligated. Appreciate you being here. Nepalese people were like, enough is enough. You're not going to censor us. You're not going to take social media away from us. And you know what they did? They got out in the streets in the hundreds of thousands and they burned it to the fucking ground. And they forced the prime minister to resign. Southern Yankee, we're getting that to a tipping point, aren't we? You know? So they went to the capital. What is it? Bangladesh? Actually, it's not Bangladesh. I'm sorry. It's forget their capital, but they went to the capital and they demanded change. And within 24 hours, they got the prime minister to resign, basically their president, right? They burned parliament to the ground. Yeah, there were some lost lives. There were 34 lost lives and 1,000 people got injured. Yeah, they burned it to the ground. And they said, we got to start over. And you know what they did? They elected a new leader. Yeah, China has been trying to take Nepal. No face, but they are resisting. Kathmandu. That's right, Chris. Thank you. And thank you for being here. So they went in there and they basically said, enough is enough. You're not going to censor us. You're not going to take away stuff from us and think that it's a good idea. Right? I think the best way that I could put it is if the government all of a sudden decided that all guns were illegal. Can you imagine? In this country, anyways. So within 24 hours, they got the prime minister to resign and they elected a new prime minister, a prime minister that was a whistleblower and was pointing out the corruption. And you know what we need in this country? We need people that are going to point out the goddamn corruption that's going on from the top down. It is Orwellian, Carol. All the way from Donald Trump down to Chuck Schumer, down to all your local politicians. Every single one of them is corrupt. And you know why they're corrupt? Because of money. We are owned by the corporations and the oligarchs in this country. We are living in a dystopia, Carol. The people rise up when you can't get the staple of groceries, for instance, when the French couldn't get bread. Oh, let's talk about Erie. Thank you for bringing that up. France did this. France got into the streets. Yeah, they did use Discord. I agree, Southern Yankee. All politicians suck because they're all corrupt. You know why they're corrupt, Southern Yankee? Because they take money from donors. The donors are what controls everything. Right. Let them eat cake, right? Top down is corrupt, stripping orange tan and bitcoins. Oh man. They're all bought and paid for. Absolutely, Brenda. That couldn't be more true. Right there. Bought and fucking paid for. If you could get rid of the word greed in the dictionary, that would be a great start. Nom pig. Oh wow. I just wish I could get rid of greed, period. The actual act of being greedy. I agree, Southern Yankee. They can all eat shit. I can't stand any of them. You know what it says in my Blue Sky profile? It says, it says, if you don't think that your politician is corrupt, ask them to sign, actually have a petition. Got to make sure and have the petition, right? A solid petition to tie their pay to federal minimum wage. Ask them to do that, to sign it on the spot. See if they'll do it for you. Chris on the drum says there's an old meme that our politicians should have to wear suits with patches of all the lobbying corporations they have bought and paid for their votes, like NASCAR. That'd be a good start. But see, the problem with that, Chris, is there's this thing called dark money. George Carlin had some very wise words on this specific topic of being bought and paid for. Yeah, King Charles, he had it right. Twyla, Mayor Lightfoot shut down social media after curfew during protest. Need a second or third way to communicate. I agree. 100%. Our government, the United States government, wanted to get rid of TikTok because they didn't want you to see shit like this and Kathmandu burning to the ground. Because then we would start to get ideas, right? We'd start to ask for more, like healthcare. Ooh, I said a dirty word. Healthcare. We pay so much tax money to our government. Why can we not have healthcare for everybody? Every single American. Why? You know what the real reason is? Because Big Pharma and those overblown, bloviated, and every other superlative I can add to their repertoire want more money. Yeah, Southern Yankee. It's all about greed. How much does the average CEO make? Let's look it up here in the United States. How much does the average CEO in the United States make? The US. Oh, wow. Look, I'm going to show you guys this. This is the problem. Let's let me stop this for just a second here. Hold on one second. We'll stop this. And I'm gonna share something with you guys. How much? That's all I did. How much does the average CEO in the United States make? You see this number highlighted? 16.8 to 17 $1,000,000 a year. Wow. And they hide it with stock options, right? So the actual range is 142 to 811, but the vast majority is in stock options. Thank you, Twyla. Are they undercover or ice, Twyla? Oh, beautiful. No healthcare. Yeah. Well, starting next year, I won't either, Southern Yankee. So we'll be in the same boat. Yeah. Chris, I feel for you, bud. Cost. Yeah. I barely make 32. Yeah. That's another issue, King Charles. You barely make 32. You're not alone, King Charles. You think I make 32 a year doing this? I don't even make that, Chris. Healthcare should be a human right, Fuzzy. It doesn't make you any aisle. You know what it makes you? Human, Fuzzy. Healthcare should be and it shouldn't be tied to employment. How many of you are tied to a job because of your healthcare? I'm sure you are, King Charles. Maybe you are too, Chris. Yeah, Obamacare does suck ass, Brenda. 100%. I agree with you. You know who came up with Obamacare, Brenda? This is not going to be shocking, I don't think. Mitt Romney, a Republican, came up with Obamacare, and it sucks. Yeah, no face. I agree with that too. He's his own problematic thing. I understand why people voted for Trump though. No face. Because the Democrats don't do anything. They wanted something different. Well, they got something different. It just didn't work out the way they wanted, right? 43 hours a week and pay $700 a month and holy shit, King Charles. Yeah, I'm sorry. Sucks. Quit your job in March, Southern Yankee. Yeah. And your Southern Yankee, I bet your job had health care, right? Whether you got it or not, they offered health care. But it was too expensive, I'm guessing. Oh, well, that's illegal, King Charles. That's actually illegal. They have to offer you some type of health care. The monthly cost is low, but the deductibles were 11,000. Yeah, Brenda, it sucks. What about Medicare for all, Brenda? Would you be interested in that? You're not tied to any job. It saves the country billions of dollars. You're covered. If you get a broken ankle, you go to the emergency room, you get it taken care of. You don't go bankrupt because of a fucking medical bill. Are there inherent problems? Yeah, there's inherent problems, but at least you're covered and you got your ankle taken care of. Yeah, Charles. I wanted something different and voted for him the first time, not the second time. Right, Journey. I agree. I don't look, I don't blame people for wanting change. My chickens can't afford to lay eggs, no face. See? Erie says, I'm so happy being the best paid prep cook in Erie, but no health care. That sucks, Erie. I'm glad you're at least getting a decent wage, though. Keep the peon struggling, uneducated and submissive. Rib guy says, "Yep." Medicare's been cut too. That's another point, Southern Yankee. My parents have Medicare. That's been cut. Can't get certain medications, right? Yeah, Journey. I don't blame you, Journey. And it sucks that you lost friends for that. You wanted something different. Universal healthcare was what they could squeeze through. after all the fighting and bad press they threw at it. Oh well, it'll be gone soon. We don't have universal health care here, CBF. Problem is the healthcare would start, gouging the government just like the military industrial. Well, there's caps. The government could easily put caps on shit, Chris. They could easily put caps on the military, but they don't. You know why? Because there's too many high-priced donors that have military contracts. And my Thai restaurant owner, a deadhead, is a deadhead, so I do get nature's. I mean, Erie. I I'm big on weed being a good medicine for a lot of things, but it doesn't cure anything, you know. Maybe Medicare, but not Medicare because they're going broke because we have politicians that had robbed I agree, Brenda. Well, how about we take away their health care and give it to us? They have universal health care. Why can't we? That's good at least, King Charles. Just go to the emergency room, you know? Medicaid. Yeah. I'm losing my Medicaid next year, Brenda. Sucks, but it is what it is. Later, Carol. Nice to have you here. That sucks. That's why. Yeah, Obamacare sucks. CBF. Yeah, I don't do that. It's not an education. It's just me rambling. Pooch. Just me rambling. That's all. Yeah, I agree, Brenda. Actually, they could afford it because of their salaries and donor money. Let's take their donor money away and then put them on Obamacare, Brenda. Or let's, you know what, better yet, let's tie their wages to, let's take away the donor money and tie their wages to federal minimum wage. So they're all working for 7.25 an hour. And they got to punch in just like all of us. So if they take time off like months at a time like they know how in Congress, that'll affect their money. Oh, there's going to be so many homeless here. It's not even funny. Yeah, we can be vile, Brandon. Of course. Maybe they should be made to live off. No, 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 Brenda. The federal minimum wage, 7.25 an hour. 7.25 an hour is what they should be making. The federal minimum wage. Can anyone, and I mean anyone in the entire United States, make it off of $7.25 an hour, Brenda? No one I know is losing their benefits. Ah, there's plenty. I'm proof of this, Pooch. I'm losing my benefits. There is proof out there, Pooch. You might not know anybody, but a lot of people are losing their benefits. Yeah, every US congressperson gets free healthcare for life. Maybe that's why I should that alone is a reason why I should be a congressman. Because I don't think I could ever do it. Thing called integrity. I agree, no face. Yeah, the government is going after the homeless. I think that ties into what happened last night, Southern Yankee. I don't know if you were in there last night, but I agree, Pooch. Why not govern ourselves a little bit better? Nursing home system will collapse here. It's already collapsing. Run for president? Would you vote for me, Southern Yankee? Would you vote for me, Southern Yankee? I know friends who can't afford medicine. One of them will have a shorter life because of it. Yeah, when you have to choose, when you have to choose NJS between eating, right? Eating and your medication, what are you gonna choose? One's a real short-term pressing need, right? Anyone joining ICE gets their student loans forgiven. Oh, wow, Vote yes for MLH, no faces. I'm never gonna run for any bit of office because I don't like any of it, no face. I don't wanna be corrupted by the money that comes in. Even I might be susceptible to that. You understand what I'm saying? No man is not unsusceptible to corruption. That sucks, Southern Yankee. I feel so bad for you. I got 3 votes so far. Brandon says he'll vote for me. Good morning, Phoenix Book Girl. Nice to have you here. How hot is it in Phoenix still? I bet it's really hot. Bernie's from Phoenix. I mean, she was originally from Omaha, but she moved to Phoenix and then moved to Mexico. So hot there. We need we need to we need to have a Nepalese coming to Jesus moment here, y'all. You got your student loans forgiven because you're permanently. Well, that's good, Kelly. That's awesome. It's a tax write-off for them. I'm happy for you. My son still got $10,000 he's got to take care of student debt loan. That our good former president Joe Biden makes sure that nobody could declare in bankruptcy. Can't declare student loans in bankruptcy. Well, damn, maybe my twins can work for ICE because they both have 80,000. Just tell them not to be douchebags, Brenda. Treat people nice. Most of the people that are coming over here are coming here to work. Yeah, 80 grand. Yeah, that sounds about right, Brenda. What was the excuse they gave you for taking them away? Well, because YouTube isn't considered a full-time job, Pooch. Even though I work more hours on my channel than I ever did at any quote unquote legit job. I think there should be an age limit for office 100% Club Brain Frog. 100%. Let's Catman do this, Adam says. Yeah, it's getting closer. There's a tipping point, Adam. May not be in my lifetime, or maybe it will, but I'm sure it will be in my son's lifetime or, you know, the next generation's lifetime. There is a tipping point for any country. The solution to homelessness is 15-minute cities. What's up, Fabdriz? Hang on one second. I got to take a phone call, y'all. All right. When mom calls, you gotta take that call, right? 80K to sell your soul, lose your morals and integrity. Signing bonus to join ICE, right? Well, I mean, how about you join ICE, get your loans taken care of, make sure they're all done, and then quit. Pull a fast one. Everyone gets a house, everyone gets food, everyone gets clothes, but you can't leave the city. Oh no. You know. Candace Owen is calling Trump out for what? The Jimmy Kimmel thing? I wish. Actually, Fabdriz, Publisher Clearinghouse stopped paying its winners. The interest's so high on those loans, they'll never get them paid off. Brenda, you might have them call the company. There are programs. There are programs to get those high interest loans down. And there are grants too, Brenda. I mean, it sucks, right? And here's the thing about student loans. I told you, Joe Biden made it so that you can't declare them in bankruptcy. Hmm. There should be a real tax structure, but as long as old rich right, well, CBF. How about a flat tax rate for everybody? No loopholes. Everybody pays 15%. Would you be okay with that, CBF? Everybody gets a tax break, including the rich, but everybody has to pay the 15%. Yeah, he's definitely not for 1A Toyota. Thank God I don't have any more student debt loans. Chris on the drum says took 20 years, but I don't have that albatross. See, yeah, that's just the thing. You have to pay them because they'll never go away. Those student loans will never go away, even if you declare bankruptcy. No, CBF, you're not alone. You're not alone. I think we got to start over. I never went to college to get loans. Well, Toyota. I mean, more and more people are realizing that it might not be worth it to get educated, you know? I don't think it's a scam, Chris, but it's getting bad. I believe in strong education 100%. But I also think that we shouldn't have to go into debt to get educated. I think anybody that wants to go to college should be able to go to college at a very affordable rate. Very affordable. That's something else that our country could do with our tax dollars instead of paying the hundreds of billions and trillions of dollars it spends on military. Could use some of that to I don't know, let everybody go to college for a good reasonable rate. Fabris says someone just texted me with student loan information. I don't have any student debt. What's up, Janet? Nice to have you here. Yeah. As much money as we give other countries, they can forget. You know the number one country we give money to, Kelly? Israel. Ooh. Now I'm going to be labeled as a anti-Semite. Anytime you mention Israel in a bad light. And here's the thing, I only criticize the Israeli government, not the people. The people are wonderful for the most part. Yeah, I know, Brenda. It's fucking horrible. And that should tell you every politician sucks. Doesn't matter what aisle, side of the aisle. I wouldn't send my dog I didn't like to college. I love college, freedom. I love being educated. I love learning, but I don't like paying for that, like where I can't get out of debt. I quit college because of it. I couldn't afford it. Yeah, I agree, Chris. There does need to be some reform there too, but it's minor reform compared to political reform, prison reform, police reform. I know people with a master's degree that get paid only 40K. Yeah, there's that too, Toyota. But I think an education is invaluable. It's not for monetary reasons. I saw that Beachcomber. I thought it was funny. Yeah, military contractors, same thing. Military industrial complex, if you will, CBF. Flotilla on their way to Gaza. A lot of Jews don't like well, they love Israel, they just don't like the Israeli government, CBF. I agree, Brenda. I think it should be affordable for anybody that wants to go to college and learn, or even trade school. Some people aren't meant for college. I was definitely meant for college. I was a straight A, almost straight A student. I was a straight A student till high school, and then things got a little dicey there. Graduated with a 3.2, but I could have graduated with a higher than A average. Then I got to college and I was like, okay, first year good. And after that, nah, I don't want to do it no more. My full ride scholarship was, you know, gonna expire. I'm like, no, I'm good. No face. I'm not a fan of Trump. I'm not a fan of Biden. I'm not a fan of either political party. Can't stand them, either of them. Nonfic, why don't we do that on your own channel? I need to help you, buddy. After this live, give me a ring, Nami. I'm tired, Nami. That's another thing I want to talk to you guys about. Uh AI is going to take over a lot of jobs. That's true, Southern Yankee. And I don't think AI is inherently bad, Southern Yankee, but AI really gives me the creeps. Wow, Chris. I wish. I wish I had the money to finish my degree off. I don't think it shouldn't exist, CBF. I mean, I think there should be, some type of understanding that Palestinians are people too, you know, watching, you know, tons of schools and churches and hospitals being bombed is not fun. I think the government should be redone there too. I want to talk a little bit about last night and how all this ties in, y'all. So last night I was on a cop watch. Basically, there were like 20 cops at least at an intersection in Aurora. Intersection was Alameda and Havana, and there was an officer involved shooting. 17-year-old, I believe. If I heard right, I want to make a correction. Last night, I said that a 17-year-old was killed by the cops. Um, I want to redact that for the moment because I'm not sure. There were two people involved, and I'm not sure if it was the 17-year-old. But one thing I do know is one person was pronounced dead either on the way to the hospital or at the hospital from what happened last night. And if you want a refresher on that, go back to last night's live, watch a little bit of it, and you'll get. Uh, but there was some interesting things that happened last night. There were some interesting things that happened last night. There was a press conference, and I went on a little mini rant about how the media sucks. And last night proved it. So yours truly was the only citizen journalist there, right? The only one without a press pass, even though I do own a press pass. Can't find it though. I need to find that thing. Um, so later, Brenda. Nice to have you here, as always. Sure, we'll talk soon, Brenda. Um, so the media was standing and the press conference was going on. I can hear it, but I really can't stand the Aurora chief. I don't know. He just rubs me wrong. and I hope he resigns soon. He needs to resign. I'm calling for his resignation. Um, anyways, so I'm listening to this press con. Finally, I'm like, you know what? I'm just hearing softball question after softball question, and I get up there and I'm still listening, and all the major, local news outlets are there, Fox and CBS, ABC, NBC, all of them. And I'm next to the biggest one, Shaw Turner, and everybody's asking just, very basic, bland questions. I'm like, really? Why don't you fucking hold this guy's feet to the fire? I asked one question. You know what my question was? My question was, did you guys call did the mental health team respond? Because as I was listening, it sounded like a mental health crisis to me. Why wasn't the mental health team deployed? And he gave some that the chief gave some mealy mouth answer like they always do. But why do I, of all people, have to ask that question? And I'm standing next to the preeminent journalist of Denver, and they can't ask those questions. You know why? Because they're all full of fucking shit. That's why. They're all full of it. They're all in it together. They hide shit. That guy was Sheriff Mannequin. Wash, rinse, repeat. Exactly. No face. We need police reform in Aurora big time, and I'm working on it, y'all. I've even offered my services as a trainer, me and KDOT. Anyways, let's get back to the point here. The media fucking blows. They hide. They throw softball questions. It's not like back in the day, the Walter Cronkites of the world, right? Media has to make authority look good. Oh yeah, because they're all in cahoots. Cahoots. What a word. That's right, Southern Yankee. They always make them look good. Even with the death and murder, nay execution of Rajon Stubblefield last month, they have to always have to come up with excuses. Always with the excuses. And this was no different. The chief, and I expected it. The chief is going to protect his own, right? Thin blue line and all. They can do no wrong. The police can do no wrong. Authority can do no wrong. Sound familiar? It's all the way from the top. Trump can do no wrong, right? He's the savior. He's the end all tell all. What's your favorite color? And why did you do it? No face. That's pretty much our media, right? What's your favorite color? I should have asked that question to the chief last night, right? No face. What's your favorite color? I promise you, we're going to get him to resign. One way or another, he's going to resign. There's mounting pressure in Aurora, and it's a microcosm of what's going on in the entire country, y'all. Don't think I'm not paying attention because I am. Ah, well. So that happened last night. So the media is complicit in this whole damn thing. Our media here sucks. We censor everything. You can't find much information on stuff like what's going on in Nepal, right? Because it's censored. This is censored. You're gonna have a hard time finding this video. You know what this video is? This video is a tourist bus of people that probably paid good money to go to Nepal to have a nice vacation. And they're in the middle of a revolution. And these people are here saying, "Look, we're good people. We've got some governmental problems, but thank you for being here. And let's pave the way for these people that are coming to visit us. These are our guests." El Ron, what's up? Nice to have you here. No Face needs our help. Well, what where's the GoFundMe? What is the name of it? The Journey? I'll take a look at it. I'm always trying to help. Yeah, JD Vance know better. I agree. Southern Yankee. I mean, the short-term solution is just get rid of the orange Cheeto. But even that, I mean, I don't care if you put Gavin Newsom, who's also problematic, or any other corporate Democrat going to have issues. It's the reason why Bernie Sanders was opposed. He was kicking Hillary's ass, and he would have kicked Trump's ass too. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's corrupt too. They're all corrupt. They all take corporate money, dark money in some one form or another. I mean, Bernie might be the least corrupt of them, but he's still very centrist. If you talk to people in Canada, like I have, they'll tell you. It's like, I mean, Bernie Sanders is, man, he's the middle. He's the bare minimum, you know, of what people should be getting here in this country. A decent minimum wage, you know, health care, which I agree with Fuzzy is a human right. You know, something else I realized last night, y'all. Oh man, I'm getting old. Yeah, Kelly, he's the least corrupt though. I would have voted for Bernie. You want to talk about something different? Healthcare for all, universal healthcare, $15 federal minimum wage, which right now it's at $7.25. And they pretend like it's the small business owners that don't want it. No, 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 no. It's the big corporations that don't want a federal minimum wage of $15 an hour. Should be actually, if you kept up with inflation, it should be like more than 22 $22 an hour for whatever job you're at. Yeah, well, I mean, it's going to affect our business. Our business is going to shut down. Well, that's free market, right? I mean, the Republicans are big on the free market. Sink or swim. Sink or swim. We're always conditioned. These politicians on both the right and left are always conditioning us to fight with each other rather than look at the real problems. When you have 12,000 lobbyists for 535 congressional members, you might have a problem. 100%, Fabdriz. When Hillary won 5 coin tosses at the Iowa, 100%, Erie. Bullshit. BS. No face who. Let me look that up real quick. Let me look. Here we go. What are we looking at getting? 800 bucks, no face? Hold on. Yeah. Looks like on the up and up. You're not asking for a ton, no face. Here. I'll put it in there. Yeah, you're not asking for a lot of money, no face. So, I mean, little things like that, no problem. Let's get you there. I got it, Journey. It's all good. Yeah, Erie forever. The 5 coin toss thing. Yeah, the odds of that. What's the odds of that? 5 coin tosses in a row going in the favor of one person or the other. Yeah, I know. No face. You're not even asking. That's the thing. And look, that's a humble GoFundMe. I've seen. I mean, look at Man Bear Pig. He was asking for thousands of dollars. I agree. Fabdrez, Citizen United needs to be turned overturned. That's one good thing that Supreme, but they won't do it. Especially this Supreme Court. Oh boy, no. Can't have that. Can't have the dark money pouring in. Not have the dark money pouring in. Fabdrez. One real quick I want to talk to you guys about. Last night I came to an epiphany. I'm not going to be able to do this thing forever. My hips hurt so bad after last night, y'all. Not even my back, but my hips. My hips were like, oh man, walking back to the car, my hips were like, I don't know, dude. I don't know how much we got left in the tank. I hear you, no face. We'll try to help you out a little bit there. Hand up, not hand out. You know what I'm saying? No face. I hear you. Couldn't agree with you more, Fabdris. Hips do lie at him. 100%, man. Shit. No, my hips were aching on the way back. And I thought, after I ended the live, I was talking to Bernie. I was like, Bernie, I don't know how much more I got left in the tank. I poured my heart and soul into this channel, into doing things. There's a few things I have left to accomplish, though. One is seeing Man Bear Pig off to his home for the next few years. The other is, you know, trying to get a little bit of police reform for Aurora and Denver, for that matter. I enjoy talking to all of you. I enjoy the company. I enjoy the fact that you guys are big time supporters of the channel. May not always agree with things that I say, but you've always been there. I have a little bit left in the tank. I've got enough to see things through. I'm working on a big project right now. And when I'm done with that big project, I'm pretty sure my legacy is going to be secure, as if it isn't already. No, Club Brain Fog, I'm not stopping. I'm not stopping until my body tells me that there's no more. You need another Vegas trip, recharge the batteries. Well, that may be coming by the end of the year, Fabriz. It just depends on a certain factor. I fell out of my wheelchair night before last and my hip hurts too. I'm sorry, Kelly. Censorship with news has been crazy for 35 plus years. I say way more as a child versus an adult. No, censorship now is way worse. Professional hula hooper until I broke my femur. One part of that sentence was a lie. Yeah. Oh, the femur's the worst to break, right? No face. Ouch. I'm gonna do this as long as I can, CBF. As long as you people will have me. Because that's who I serve. That's who the real people I serve. I serve you guys. I don't serve corporate donors. I serve small donors like you guys. Okay, if I could make it through the worst pain I've ever had and had to show my face for 6 months, you better be here. I'm gonna be here for a while, CBF. I'll be here for a while. What's up, helicopter? Nice to have you here. Oh, more on the news. Oh, yeah, because it's all censored, Journey. No, I serve the people. I always have, Fuzzy. Not everybody has to have an actual 9 to 5 with a title, even though I guess you can title me YouTuber. We're the donor party. That's right, Adam. 100%. Why did you assume it was the femur and not the hula hooping? Well, you know what you do when you assume, no face. I would adore the occasional national or state park stream. Always love Colorado. Yeah, I do that every once in a while, Erie. I do that every once in a while. I didn't do it for my Estes Park trip because I really did want to recharge a little bit. What's up, Marth? Nice to have you here. Body part trade and drive through. I agree. I'll take a new back, please. And maybe some new hips. Southern Yankee. Ah. No, he said donor party, not Donner party. CBF. The donor party, not Donner party. Oh man. I do have to do a members only stream soon. I will do that. It'll probably be more of a intimate Q&A type deal. Um, you know, something like that. San Luis Valley. Oh yeah, really nice down there. I hardly get down there though, Erie. It's far. What new horror movie do you suggest I rent tonight? Fabdres says. Ooh, that's a good question. How about you rent a movie called Dangerous Animals, Fabdres? Think you'll like it. Did you like Wolf Creek at all, Fabdres? Have you ever seen Wolf Creek? It's not quite that bad, but it's pretty wild. It's an Australian movie. Yeah, watch that one. Pretty good. I mean, Talk to Me is another good one. What would your government consist of? Way more than two parties chilled. How about we don't even have any party affiliation next to our name and we start voting people in for their ideas? I might get rid of the electoral college. I don't think we're willing donors. No face says, yeah. Well, I'm goth. I always think of dark things and being from Cali. Well, I've seen every horror movie in the book. Does that count? Club Brain Fog? Watch any Adam Curtis documentary, social commentary horror. Wolf Creek is terrifyingly well done, based on a true story. Um, I really like Dangerous Animals helicopter. I thought it was pretty good. It's a movie that just came out not too long ago. Huh? How weird, Journey. How weird. Can you tell me why get rid of the? Because one vote counts. Chilled. I hate the electoral college. Yeah, I know. It's to make things even for the people out in the rural areas. Yeah, yeah, I get it. We've already voted in a president without how many times have we voted in a president without the majority of the people wanting that? What does that tell you? Hostile. Ooh, I hate that movie. I'll have to tell you, hey, helicopter, I have to tell you why I hate Eli Roth so much another time. Remind me. Remind me of that. Remind me of that helicopter. I will definitely tell you why I can't stand Eli Roth. Elections are all rigged. Sorry, texting someone. I'm a busy guy. You know how that goes. This just in from the Onion, y'all. Bored Trump spends night channel surfing for new shows to cancel. Oh man, it is a sham. Yeah, it disenfranchises too many people. That's why I can't stand it. Yeah, hold on. Yeah. Hang on. We're gonna have a special guest here in just a second. Surprise special guest. Hold on. Let me copy this. Send it out. Hold on. Gotta send it to one of my favorite people. Hang on one second here. Oh, wait a minute. I'm gonna go here. Sorry, hang on. Gotta send it differently. Hold on one second, y'all. I know this is riveting, but I do have a special guest coming in. Very special guest. Just gotta get to the proper channel here. Get out of here. Don't want that. New message. Here we go. I think it's is it this one? Yeah. All right. We should have a special guest here real soon. Guys should be excited. If Ma'am Donnie is elected in NYC, it will be an interesting governance experiment. Oh, I'm hoping for that. I am Jimmy Kimmel. I love Jimmy Kimmel. Hold on. All right. You should tell Aurora PD that people are scared to come there because of them. I will, Brendan. I will. I will. Call it Jimmy Gimbal. Jimmy Gimbal. That would be funny. Let me see. Let me get caught up here. Electoral college is a joke and ridiculous. Yeah. We're extremely screwed for the next 3.5 years. I don't know about that. Nepal gives me hope. Helicopter. Oh, look at here's my special guest. She needs no introduction, but here is the great and mighty Flea. Flea, how are you?
Hey guys, how's it going?
It's going. Hey, what can you okay, so I gave my perspective on this Nepal thing, Flea, which actually gave me quite a bit of hope for our country. What do you think?
Oh yeah, well, did you break it down? Because I could break this whole thing down for you, how this started and shit.
Yeah, I gave the basically the Cliffs notes, but let's hear your point of view on the whole thing, please.
Okay, so some Gen Z kids started posting on the internet about the lavish lifestyles of the parliament's children and the parliament and how, the people live so poorly and the government is so rich.
Uh-huh.
And they started to get pissed and they started to organize and
Yeah.
they started to protest. And the government's answer to that was to ban social media apps. So these kids were like, oh, well, okay, fuck that. They got on BitChat, which, by the way, I don't know how, but it works without the internet. And
What?
they started, yes, they got on Discord, and then they got on, and then I think the government was like cutting off the internet access,
Ooh.
right?
Yeah.
Once they started to get on Discord. So then they got on BitChat, which works without the web. I don't know how that works. Don't ask me, I'm no techie. And they organized
Yeah.
and they started protesting hard. And then they decided, well, fuck this shit. We're just going to overthrow this government. And they did. They
Yeah.
went into parliament, burned that shit down. These these Congress people, I don't know what if they're parliamentarians, I guess they call them,
Yeah.
who had to be life flighted out of the building. I mean, not life flight, but helicopters were pulling them off the roof and shit. And
Yeah.
these kids literally overthrew their government, got on Discord, elected a new leader who was female, by the way,
Yeah.
and
And
then
very, very anti-corruption and a whistleblower from my reading.
yes,
So,
huge. They this is what this whole movement was anti-corruption, and then they cleaned up after themselves. They
yeah.
started cleaning the city up and repainting shit and everything,
Yeah.
and they were like, I mean, they weren't out to be violent. They
No.
were out to change their government because it was so corrupt and it was very authoritarian, and the government was dictating, what kind of information the public was getting, right? Does it sound familiar? Does it
Oh yeah.
sound familiar, you guys?
Oh yeah. 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 Well, I was just telling people what when you were telling me this story, Flea, I was looking it up on Google and I couldn't find anything.
Oh, no, it's being I wouldn't say completely censored over here, but it's being quashed. You're
Yeah.
not going to find a lot about it because they don't want our government, I think, as we all know by now, no matter what side you're on, is censoring
Yeah. Yeah.
voices of dissent, anything they don't like. Um, so yeah, you're not gonna get you're gonna have to go on like TikTok or Discord or BitChat or Snapchat, WhatsApp to find this information. You're not gonna find it on mainstream media, but if you have a TikTok, there are videos, there's photos, there's other countries breaking it down because our country won't do it.
Right.
Um, but it does give me hope because it's I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. It is shocking what's going on in our country
Yeah. Yeah.
today. It's all fine and good when it's your guy, but what happens when your team isn't in power anymore and there is unrestricted censorship,
Yeah.
unrestricted power? We can't have that kind of government.
This is why I was so concerned with this Jimmy Kimmel thing and this Stephen Colbert thing. Not because, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Jimmy Kimmel. I think he's okay. I was more of a fan of Colbert. But I mean, when you start doing shit like that, and even right wing pundits are kind of upset about it, you know. Um,
Oh, yes, but you won't find a lot of that in
no,
our mainstream media. They are silencing any opposition. They want you to believe that that the overwhelming majority is happy with our government right now, and I'm telling you, they're not. If
no,
you want real information, you got to go underground. You got to go on. You can't rely on ABC, NBC, whatever the major news organ, CNN, they're full of shit too.
and
Fox
MSNBC,
News, definitely full of shit.
OAN, full of shit. They're all full of shit. They're all fucking full of shit. Every one of them, please. And I kind of proved that last night, please. Um, I don't think
Yeah,
I don't know. Were you in the live last night, Flea? I don't
no, I'm sorry. I have been completely
know. Yeah,
out of it the last couple. I got a massive ear infection. I waited too long to get it treated, and I
yeesh.
lost the hearing partially in my right ear. So
That'll
yeah,
teach
I've been
you.
on the mend.
That'll teach you, won't it?
Yeah, well, because I'm too old to fuck around anymore, apparently. You know, when you were a kid and got sick and just like fuck it, it'll go away.
Right, right.
Yeah, that doesn't happen anymore.
So last night I kind of proved that theory. Flea. Well, I've been proving it probably my entire career. I've done way more journalistic work than any journalist in the local Denver area. You know, um,
Well, I mean, and that's what it's going to take.
right?
It's going to take people live on the streets reporting this shit, going to meetings, city council meetings, whatever legislative crap is going on in your area. And I mean, it is crap. And I don't, and you know what? I'm going to tell you right now, the Democrats are equally shit.
Oh, they're full of shit. They're all full
There
of shit.
is nobody fighting for us but us. And I'm telling you guys right now, it's going to take the right and the left to band together to get rid of these greedy assholes. It
I'm
really is.
I'm beginning to think that the Nepalese treatment is upon us, Flea, or close.
Oh,
I think it's getting to
I
that point.
they would like for you to believe that most Gen Z here support the current administration. If you go to polls or whatever the mainstream media is putting out, that's the narrative. But I'm telling you right now, that is 100% false.
Yeah.
I have three Gen Z kids, and I'm around them every day. I'm on their little social media shit that they use. I hear their voices. They are scared and alarmed by this administration and
Yeah.
pissed.
Well, we all should be, right or left. You know what I mean? I've always said for now decades on the platform, Flea, that I'm neither right or left. I can't stand both. I think they both suck equally. You know?
They both suck equally in different ways.
Yeah.
They really do. Like I said, there's no one fighting for us but us.
Yeah.
This whole system, with very few exceptions, needs to change. I mean, I'm glad we have a constitution. It could use a little work, but for the most part, but no one's adhering to it. So
Well,
what the
look,
fuck good is it?
I mean, what is the number one fucking amendment of that Constitution, Flea? It's the freedom of speech, right? And now we've
Right.
seen two instances of two very high profile people that have been censored because of what they said about the Cheeto, you know?
Yeah, that's outrageous. And I don't care if you like him or not. That is outrageous because it could be you next.
Well,
We don't,
I said it last night, Flea. I mean, it starts with them, right? I mean, who's to say
yes,
that Trump doesn't go to YouTube and say, you know what, YouTube, I'm gonna make life very difficult for you, Google/YouTube, if you continue to let people like MLH, speak his mind here.
right. That's a thing. And I would be equally alarmed if it was left-leaning politicians doing it. And you know what? Left-leaning politicians are complicit in this.
Absolutely, 100%.
100%. It is not, they're not doing anything. Okay? They claim to be for the people. They're not doing shit. It is all of them. All of them. I think the vast majority, with maybe like 5% of our politicians, are really in it for the people. I mean, I can name a few on one hand, maybe. You know? I mean, honestly, this is outrageous. You don't have to worry about us becoming an autocracy because we're already there. It's happened.
Yeah,
When they start censoring us like some third world fucking country,
yeah, yeah.
it's already there.
Well, that's why even a lot of the right-leaning pundits like Candace Owen are calling Trump out and
Yeah.
saying, "You know what? We don't like Jimmy Kimmel. He sucks." But,
Oh,
you know, there's
yeah.
something really wrong here, and the more you do that, the more it's gonna get worse. It's a slippery slope, and like you said, we're already there. I just there was an Onion article that just came out, and I read it. The headline, someone sent this to me, Flea. It says, "Bored Trump spends night channel surfing for new shows to cancel."
That's not even fake.
I don't think see, it's not far from being the truth, you know? And
It's not even fake.
no. I mean, that's I mean, the Kimmel thing is definitely Trump's doing. And then you got somebody like Hannity on Fox News. I don't know any conservative that uh wanted Jimmy Kimmel off the air. I don't know any prominent conservative. Really? How about you start at the top with your
Yeah.
finger?
Can I
And I
speak on Charlie Kirk for a minute? Because I want to say something about that that I think is
oh,
very important.
okay, let's hear it.
All right, I didn't like the guy. I don't feel like he had ideas or debates. I felt he just spewed, pure hatred and stochastic terrorism against marginalized communities. That's how I feel. However, I do believe in his right to do it. And by the way, don't condone violence. Violence only begets more violence. Don't go do that to somebody. That's horrific. But I do support his right to be able to do that because it protects all of our right to do that, right? As awful as I think that guy was, I wouldn't censor free speech. I
I
don't
agree.
want to censor free speech. And first of all, let's just not make him into something he wasn't. All this, martyr bullshit, that's got to stop. What we should be focusing on was his right to speak.
Yeah. Let me
And
say something here real quick to Kelly. Kelly, you don't think the most powerful man in the world, had anything to do with it? Then you're delusional.
oh, 100, oh yeah, no, he
I don't
100%.
I don't mean that in a bad way, Kelly. I'm just saying, if you don't think Trump had big time influence on getting Jimmy Kimmel off the air, then I don't know what to tell you. You see
Right?
what I'm saying?
It's 100% he did. And this shit, our FBI, Cash Money Patel, these fucking texts that were supposedly from the guy who, went after Charlie Kirk.
Oh, they were definitely doctored, Flea.
There's so
100.
no 22-year-old talks like that. They threw that shit into Chat GPT and that's what popped out.
Mhm.
You can't convince me otherwise because no 22-year-old talks like that. Nobody. And it's almost like English wasn't his first language.
Yeah,
It
he's
was
laughable.
so bad.
Ash Patel is fucking awful too.
But
Fucking
yeah, that's where we are. I think we need, and I don't call for violence. But here's the thing, there were so many of those kids that they had to give up. There was not enough military, there was not enough police, and there was not enough parliament to fight the sheer number of people who showed up to overthrow the government. And I think that's where we got to be with this. And as much as you really think that there's some opinions on the right that are disgusting, racist, whatever you want to call it, that's your right to your opinion. We're going to have to work together because none of us want to live like this. None of us want to live in a country where the only people who are able to get ahead are politicians and the people that suck their dicks, and where the only people that get to speak are the politicians and the people that suck their dicks. I don't care what side you're on.
yeah.
I mean, that's how I feel. And
Um,
Democrats suck, Republicans suck. We need a new system.
I agree. Um, I had mentioned it last night. The media is 100% complicit in this whole thing. People dismiss this like it's no big deal, right, Flea? But Mexico, for all the issues that Mexico has, the media is not one of them, right?
No.
The media tells you straight up. They'll show you front page news. This person got decapitated here by the cartel, right? In this country, you can't even. I mean, look, as morbid as it may sound, Flea, and I've seen dead bodies in real life, and I hate it. But maybe if people saw more of this shit, they would feel differently about a few things. Do you know what I'm saying, Flea?
Yes, but our media is being censored. That's the problem.
100%. And they self censor. Last night,
Yeah.
it was laughable, Flea. I'm sitting there and I'm looking at this chief of police who's problematic in his own right. Um, he came from Los Angeles, which tells you he was around with the whole O.J. Simpson shit, you know.
Yeah.
So and also the Rodney King shit. I mean, he's been a police officer for literally 40 years. He just needs to go. You know, he's a part of the old guard, and
Yeah.
I've said for years that the old guard just needs to go. We
And
need a
time to retire.
It's time to retire, go off into the sunset, enjoy your fleecing of America, because that's all police do. I mean, the cop that uh decided that he wanted to dox me on my own live stream flea, he makes
Yeah.
$114,000 a year base pay.
It's ridiculous what Denver cops make. It is outrageous to stand around. And you know what? 114's on the low end.
Oh, trust me, that's just base pay, flea. I mean, that doesn't include overtime. This guy's made well over $150,000 a year, probably more along 175,000, because like you said, all they do is stand around, waste time. Last night I proved it. There were literally 20 cops there standing around doing
That's,
nothing.
yeah. They don't really fight crime. They might accidentally stumble upon a crime now and then, but
Yeah.
I can assure you they're not out there actively
Well,
fighting real
what
crime.
what job do you know, Flea? Tell me. Name me any job where you're 2% efficient and you get to keep your job.
Oh, yeah, that's not a thing. And I mean, this all ties back to the entire system. Like people like you and me gotta work our asses off all the fucking time for peanuts,
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah.
you can't make one misstep. But those who have power seem to get uh enormous breaks that no one in the real world would get, right?
Oh,
It's
100%.
cops.
100%. Look at look at Ghislaine Maxwell right now, Flea. We're supposed to really not
Oh,
like pedophiles, right? We're
oh,
supposed to not like PDF files, right? But
yeah.
but yet we're transferring this chick to a minimum security prison and giving her work release?
Right?
Really?
Where's the fucking files? Where are they? I'm not taking this bitch's word for anything.
Oh
Where
no,
are the
I'm with
fucking
you.
files? They think we forgot about them because they think they've created enough diversions to get our mind off of it, but that it's not going away.
It's not going away. They're eventually going to release them, Flea, but they will be so redacted it won't even be funny. It won't even be funny.
They'll be completely
You,
scrubbed.
you know what somebody told me, that one of the politicians said that the reason why they're not releasing them because there's too many prominent people and it would collapse the economy. AKA,
Yeah.
you know what that's code for, Flea? It would cause all the big donors a lot of issues and problems.
Yeah, it wouldn't collapse the economy. It would make way for new people with better morals and values to come through, is what it would do.
Yeah, I thought the victims were going to put out their own list. Chilled says, I did too. Where is that list? I'd like to see it.
They're censoring that. There is Virginia Giuffre. She wrote a book that's coming out in October.
Yeah,
Now, I want to see what they do to try to stop this book. If it comes out, I'll be surprised.
yeah,
I'll be surprised.
yeah,
But I think they're going to have a hard time releasing it. And I think the victims are probably getting together to make a list. Now, getting it out to the public is going to be an issue.
yeah. Fabda says the hardest working people are the poorest. Isn't it ironic? Don't you think? To quote what's
Yeah, right. And I probably offended some people by giving the right any leeway. I know I probably did.
nah,
But the reality of the situation is they don't want us coming together. This is what this is all about. And the way you change the hearts and minds of people isn't isn't to call them every name that you can think of. That's not going to work. You got to start having real conversations with people.
Yeah.
People grow up in this bubble with whatever ideology that they're fed, and they have no exposure to anything different, and that is a lot of the problem. Do I, and today's Christians, just to fuck off with that, okay? The white Jesus, all of that, no. The only way you are able to change someone's mind is to have actual conversations with them. Now, I realize I'm not naive enough to think that that's going to work with everybody. I realize there are some heinous people out there, and no matter what you do or say, they're just going to continue to be a piece of shit,
Yeah.
right? But there
Adam's
are those who just kind of sway.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Those are the people. Those are the people that,
You should never take blind loyalty to any
right,
party ever,
right,
ever, ever, ever. Um, there's a couple of things here, and then we're gonna wrap it up, Flea. Fuzzy says that horrible video of what happened to Mr. Kirk happens to children in schools.
right. Where was their rage for that? Where was their outrage for any of that, right?
Adam says they believe all unions are evil until it comes to police unions.
Hmm.
Chilled, I have an answer for that. Maybe they're afraid, right? Maybe the victims are afraid. The victims already said they wouldn't release their list to the public. Why, why they wouldn't is beyond me. Oh, I would. I'd be screaming to the high heavens, Chris. We all need to pray for each other for peace and tranquility, King Bluto says. Yeah, I know. We're
And listen, I'm no fan of Charlie Kirk, okay? He was a horrible human being, absolutely horrid. So I don't have any, I'm not, there's no love lost there. But
well,
do I think we should go around doing that? Hell no. I
yeah.
really, unless
Oh, let's talk about
you're
this.
defending your home or property or whatever.
Right. Well, let's talk about this. Even Charlie Kirk himself. I actually agree with Charlie Kirk on one thing, Flea. If you're going to have a society, with a Second Amendment right to own arms, there are going to be a few deaths, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
right? It's just part of the, you know, it's
it
the
just.
cost of having rights,
I mean, I actually agree. So why are we outraged for that and not for the kids?
right?
You know,
100%, because the kids are innocent. They're not out there on a public stage spreading absolute vitriol and spewing garbage. They're just sitting in school trying to learn.
yep,
Why is no one beside, well, I'm not going to say no one, but why isn't our government just absolutely outraged at that? Why don't they fly the flag at half mast every time there's a school incident? I don't want to say the wrong thing because I don't want this video to get censored.
right,
Um, why don't they do it? Because it would be at half mast every single day.
yeah, yeah. Why don't we show like we got to see the Charlie Kirk video? Why can't we see the aftermath of a school shooting? Because it's too sensitive?
It's part of the censorship. I mean, I think I really just want to get through to people that our media is being so heavily censored right now. If you want any real information, you got to go underground. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm really not, but it's just right there in front of our faces.
Yeah.
You can't deny it.
You
It's
know why? You know why it's more important, King Bluto? Because Charlie Kirk at the time of his death was worth $12 million. I'm sure those kids altogether weren't worth a quarter of that. That's why.
took his wife
No.
exactly 3 seconds to get out and grift off his desk.
Yeah.
Oh
All
my
about
gosh.
money. All about
Huh?
money. All about money. Always.
Somehow my number, I don't know, someone paid for my data or something, but it got somewhere on some Republican circles or something. And I'm not a Republican, so I don't know how they got that information. I'm actually unaffiliated, but I got, I would say 2, 3 days after his death, I started getting multiple texts to donate to Turning Point USA. Some that were supposedly from his wife, which I don't doubt one bit that she orchestrated a lot of that crap. I mean, it took her, like I said, it took her exactly 2 seconds to grift off his death, but you don't see anyone on the right outraged about that. That's so wholly inappropriate.
Yeah. Well, I mean, grifters got to grift. I mean, we see that with the man bear pig flea, which leads me to my final thing before we leave the air here, flea. Next week we're taking off, um, but DT will be back, uh, pending some stuff. Um,
Yeah.
have you been keeping up with the man bear pig at all, flea?
No, I have enjoyed my time away, to be
Good for you.
perfectly honest,
Good
not
for
having
you.
to listen, not having to pay attention. My mental health is so much better, but I will, I will
You
get
will
caught up.
foray back into the world of man bear pig soon, and immediately be immersed back into a world of grift and prison, upcoming prison time, flea.
I know. When's the next court date? October?
23rd, I'll be live on the 23rd for sure, of this month. So 4 days from today, I believe, is his next court date. And yeah, we're gonna be back on that kick real soon. Um, should be fun. I mean, there's lots to talk about, including, get this, flea. He used Chat GPT to fill out his motion, his 995 motion. And you know how I know that? He said it. He said it on air. He's like, well, Chat GPT is good for some things, but you got to kind of change things around. He went on this whole fucking rant about how, Chat GPT is good for some stuff, but so that's how he used Chat GPT for that. Um, which I think is hilarious because I hope he represents himself. Lee. I mean, I don't think he is, but uh, was having a conversation with someone about this, and we were debating whether or not he's going to represent himself. I'm still on the kick. He's going to get court appointed
Public defender.
public defender at some point
Hmm.
because otherwise it costs him too much money. You know.
Yeah.
So
What is the next court date anyway? Is it like just a pretrial hearing? What's going on?
yeah, it's a motions hearing. I think someone had mentioned that it's an actual what do they call it? Like arraignment? I don't know if that's true. I thought he was already kind of arraigned and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure it's just a motions hearing, because he's had to put in his deadlines for motions were like last Friday or some shit. I don't know, but I haven't. I'm like you, Flea. I tried to stay away from it as much as possible. Chris, take care, buddy. Have a great day.
See, I'm so glad I get to see everybody, and I'm sorry if I'm offending everyone
Uh,
with my viewpoint. I
look,
really am.
you're
Like
if you're offending people because you hate the whole fucking system, then I don't care, Flea, because I'm the same way. I hate all of it. I hate all of it.
I think people got upset with me saying I would protect Charlie Kirk's rights as much as the next person.
Well,
But that's just how and honestly, I know hate speech is a thing. And yes, I do think we need to be enforcing that. He probably would qualify, but I would preserve that right for everybody because we just cannot preserve it for just some people.
no, I
We
I
have to,
understand. You need to check out after we're done here, Flea. I'll send you the link. Rebecca Watson, she's called the Skeptic, and she did this whole thing about empathy and the Charlie Kirk thing. And I think I think you'll agree. I think you will. I mean, yeah, I mean, you just have to listen to it. It's pretty good. Um, let's see. Let me get caught up here. The only emotion he's good at is goes into the bucket. Adam says. I agree. Not offending me at all. Southern Yankee says. Flea, not even. CBF says. Club Brain Fog says, not even. So you're not offending,
Yeah, I
Flea.
don't know. I think I saw somebody earlier is like, I'm
No, no,
out, and I'm like,
no,
I'm
no,
sorry, but
no, no,
this is
no.
just,
They were upset at me for talking about Trump. It's like
oh, really?
I can't stand any politician. I mean, this is widely known. You know,
Come on, you guys, even if you're on the right, you cannot be happy with this censorship
no, no,
because when you let them do it to people you don't like, eventually they're going to do it to people you do, and
yeah,
then they're going to do it to you.
yeah,
It's
uh,
like that's why I brought up Charlie Kirk. I hated the guy. I
yeah,
really did. However, he had a right to free speech
yeah.
because we all have that right, or we should.
There's a fine line here. I'm gonna thread the needle here, y'all. For all the people that love Charlie Kirk and for the people that hate him, okay, I'm kind of with Flea here. I I hate the fact that all he was doing was sitting down and got shot. I couldn't stand the guy. I couldn't stand his rhetoric, but that doesn't mean that voice needs to be silenced. I think actually it's important for people like that to speak. So you could point out that you disagree with that person. You know, um, awful what happened there. Biden did it also, Valerie. I'm no fan of Biden, Valerie. Trust
Look
me,
at
no fan
there.
of Biden.
No, we got to get rid of these fucking dinosaurs.
Yeah,
Nobody that old should be running our country. And that goes for Trump too, because he's no spring chicken, all right?
yeah,
They're practically propping the guy up at this point.
yeah.
And he's also look, I'm not a fan because what kind of leader does this? Censors the people. He doesn't give a shit about us.
No.
Come on, you people on the right cannot be happy with what's going on. And look at our economy. They are telling you that the economy's all fixed now, but when we go to the store, we still see that everything's way too fucking expensive for a regular person to live. You
What?
know, they think we're stupid as fuck.
Why we're conditioned to believe that prices just go up, right, Flea? Why is
Yeah,
that? Why is that exactly? Why can't things stay exactly the same?
right?
Why do we have to raise prices on everything? You know, why can't it just stay that way forever? Well, it just doesn't work that way. Really? Why not?
Right.
Why not?
Why? Why can't we? The rate of inflation goes up so much faster than the rate of wage increases.
You know
It's
why?
mind blowing.
I know why. Because the people at the top, right? The people at the top want to make more money.
Well, yeah, they want an army of worker bees to work our asses off and have two jobs and barely make ends meet so they can have more.
Yeah. And Southern Yankees said it. And once prices go up, they never come down.
Right? Never. And
Yeah.
that's an issue. I mean, this country's so fucked right now. I
I showed,
even
look, here it is. The average CEO, right, of CEOs in this country, right, just this country, is 16 to 17 million dollars. Now, that includes stock options, right? And that's another thing that's really wrong with this country. Companies are mandated to make profit. It's the law. You have to make a profit as a business.
you can make a profit without absolutely reaming the people.
I agree.
They raise prices so much more. I mean, when inflation hits and we go through these periods where prices are raised, they raise prices so much more than what is necessary to make a decent profit. It's I think if people actually looked into and did the math about, okay, how much would prices need to be raised to keep up with this rate of inflation, and they saw that it's nowhere near what they actually raised the prices to. I mean, it's insane. Soda is one that really bothers me. Any kind of soda, it's so cheap to make. So incredibly, it's one of the cheapest products to manufacture, but you're spending $7 or $8 for a 12 pack, 12 cans of soda,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
It's that's one that, oh, they saw the opportunity and tariffs. Well, you know what? The soda's bottled here.
Yeah.
So, so, what the hell? These tariffs they're outrageous. They don't make us money. They make the people in power
Oh,
money.
100%. The government makes shit tons of money off the tariffs.
Oh, they make so much money off that, and it costs us.
Yeah.
Remember when you were assured that the tariffs wouldn't raise prices, and everyone was saying, oh, yes, they will. It'll be passed right on to the consumer. And that's exactly what happened. And the prices keep going up. He keeps putting more and more tariffs on things. And it's not increasing manufacturing here in the United States. Businesses are shutting down because of it.
Yeah.
They knew that would happen because they make so much money off these
You,
tariffs.
a good parallel to that is a video game company called EA, Electronic Arts Fleet. And
Hmm.
that 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 company made record profits, but yet they laid off like I think it was like I think it's like 500 workers somewhere around there. Why is that? It's because these
Right?
and the CEO Bobby Kotick. Let me find out his. Absolutely ridiculous how much that piece of shit makes. Nobody should ever make that much fucking money. Holy fuck.
And I'm going
Bobby.
to tell you guys right now, it doesn't matter to them how many American businesses go under, because the more American businesses that go under, the more money they make, the more they have to import shit. So the more they have to import shit, the more tariff money they get. It's good for the higher ups in our government for businesses to go under with these tariffs. I
Yeah.
just wanted to point that out. They do not give a shit about American manufacturing. They don't care one bit. They
Bobby
don't care if businesses
Bobby
go under because they're going to make more money if that happens.
when Activision was bought out by Microsoft, Bobby Kotick made $400 million.
Oh my God.
Yet he's laying off 500 people at a time when he's making big time money. See, they want to fool you, right? They say his base salary was cut from 1.75 million to 870. You know how they hide their money is with stocks and stock options.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
400 four
100%.
hundred million dollars he made when they I mean, it was a big bone of contention. And then there was I think it was like a $50 million. Don't quote me on this, but I think it was like a $50 million like golden parachute if they ever had the audacity to fire him for whatever reason, for being a douchebag, for whatever. You know, here's part of the
Yeah.
problem right here. Cinderelli points out Tom Grassley, majority leader of my state senate, 60 years in office. Yeah, it's a big time company.
Yeah. Yeah. And here's why they don't care. And I also wanted to say, here's why they don't care if American businesses go under. The reason is because we import far more goods, services, and products than we export. We don't export nearly as much as what we import. So regardless of whether a company goes under, for any business to run in this country, you have to import. That's just the way it is right now. And the more that you have to import, the more they're going to make.
Oh,
We don't
100%.
export enough for it to affect us negatively, or I guess to affect the government and the billionaires negatively, right?
CBF says, I hate to say it about my own people, but it seems that the tech company owners are just making up for how they were treated in school.
It really seems that way, doesn't it? My
Oh,
God.
CBF. I mean, I guess they deserve that money. I mean, but poor Bobby Kotick, he probably was picked on in elementary school, CBF, and in high school. And I think he's worth $400 million. I mean, what human being is worth $400 million, Flea? I mean, honestly, I mean, look,
It's obscene.
it's totally obscene. I'm all for limiting money too. You know, I mean, I think once you get up to 999 million, I think that's plenty for you, your kids, your grandkids, and their kids. You know, I mean, I mean, it's ludicrous the amount of
It's,
obscene money some people. Very few people have the majority of the wealth in the world, actually.
do you know how many people could be hired if he just gave up even a fraction of his salary? Do you know how many jobs would be created? And he'd still have millions upon millions
Of
that he'd be
course.
making every year.
Well, I mean, Elon Musk by himself could end world hunger, Flea. One stroke of the
It's,
pen.
yeah.
You know.
And this trickle down bullshit, that's a lie. What's trickling down? Piss.
Yes.
That's what's trickling down.
We all get peed on, whether you're Democrat, Republican, whatever, being pissed on.
It's
Ah, boy.
definitely not money. We know that because that shit is not working. We're
Yeah,
all going broke. And listen, I'm trying to fire up both sides here because people just need to quit listening to propaganda and pay attention to how much you're paying at the grocery store, what your damn bills are, if what you're making. You really need to go off of your life experience right now and not what they're telling you.
yeah.
I really, it's a call to everybody.
That's a
It's a
great way.
call to everybody.
That's a great way to end this, Flea. It's an interesting conundrum. There is a breaking point, Flea. There will be a time, maybe not in our lifetime, Flea. We're both old timers, right? You so more so than me. I will.
You know what? Go just eat that whole bag of dicks, dude.
Oh, you want me to be man bear pig now and like pretend I'm eating my mic? Um,
Did he do that? Whee!
oh my God, there's a video of him. It's on DOS's. You should check it out. But he's got this, those microphones with like they look like dicks. I mean, come on, let's just be honest here. Like the silver part at the end, like the big round silver part at the end, mic type mic, Flea. You know,
Yeah.
actual microphone. He takes that whole thing in his mouth. It's like, what the fuck, dude? I mean,
Yeah, dude.
man, just come
Stop
on,
doing that
man.
shit.
Come on, man. Inflation will take care of those billions they have after they killed us all. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, that's true, CBF. And let them eat cake, CBF. Let them eat cake. Um, I think that's a good way to end this, Flea. I've been rambling for 2 hours now. Um, everybody, take care out there. Stay safe. Be vigilant. Try to find out information on Nepal, if you will. They were sick of it. Are you sick of it?
Yeah.
I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
sick
I'm
of
sick
it.
of it. And
Yeah,
in closing, I will tell you guys, yes, I used to be a Democrat, but I stopped listening to the fucking propaganda that they
yeah,
were feeding me, and
yeah,
I started reading bills, and I started paying attention to how every politician behaved and how they voted, not what they fucking said. And I decided, fuck both these. I was a Republican at one point too. I've been on both sides, you guys. I'm telling you right now, none of them give a shit about us. And the sooner we all realize that, regardless of our differences of opinion, the sooner we realize that, the better off we're all going to be. Because the only way we're going to affect change in this country is if we come together and make it happen.
Yeah,
And like I said, this is a call to everybody, not not sides. Don't play this partisan bullshit game because they're both sides are lying to you.
yeah,
Okay? That's as
yeah.
simple as I can put it.
I agree. Welcome to our TED Talk, and thanks for coming to our TED Talk. Uh,
Sorry. Yeah, I know. I kind of went on a rant. I'm
yeah,
sorry, you guys. I'm
it's all
sorry.
good. It's all
It's
good.
just,
Go ahead. Um,
I'm outraged.
I am too. We all should be. I mean, it's becoming increasingly harder to live. That's for sure. Okay, I want to thank everybody for being here. Right, left, indifferent, doesn't matter. Guys, you guys matter to me. Um, and Kelly, if you're listening, I know you were hurt by my words. Come on back. You know, we're a lot more same than we are different. That's what I've been trying to tell everybody on this whole thing. I mean, if you're on the right, if you're on the left, why do you have to fight? You know, there are differences of opinion. We can have differences of opinion, and it's okay to debate and talk, right? If it
Yep.
offends you, it offends you. You know, I mean, like I mean, there's an old saying, you know, you got two jobs: get mad and then get over it. You know what I'm saying? I get mad all the time, and then I think, who am I? I'm not that important. It's not that important. There are much more pressing matters to worry about.
Well,
So,
there's a bigger problem at play here. And the only way, if we all come together, it's their worst fucking nightmare.
yeah,
But it's the only way we're going to solve it
yeah.
is if we all just finally get fucking sick of the rich getting richer while we work our asses off for peanuts.
Yeah, Benetti, I didn't get a chance to say hi to you. Welcome on in. He says a lot of people are fleeing MLH. I agree. Chilled says, "Thank you for the stream, MLH. It is good to have a calm discussion without hate speech. We all have a choice to decide what we believe." I agree. Um, I do think that we got to get out of this right versus left mentality and start thinking about people in general. Stop thinking about politicians and their rhetoric and start thinking about how we can affect change. I'm getting to the point where it's I was saying this earlier, Flea, I'm getting too old for this shit. It's up to the younger generations to start, you know, start doing this.
Yeah, I mean,
I can be offended and continue to listen. It's my superpower. I offend you just by my voice, Fuzzy. I know that's true. That's my Club Brain Fog says that's my favorite phrase. I'm not that important. We really are. In the grand scheme of things, none of us. We're we're super important, but we're really not that important. Uh,
we're important together, you
yes.
guys.
Yeah.
Alone, we're not that important. Together makes a huge difference. And I say that because it's the truth, you
Even
know.
the most powerful man in the world doesn't revolve around that person in the grand scheme of things, if you know what I mean. I mean, he's eventually gonna die just like all of us, right? We all bleed the same. Nanya, what's up? Nice to have you here. Um, that's all I got. Please stick around for just a second. I'm not going to do my normal speech today, guys. I got to get out of here. I want to talk to Flea for just a second, and then I got to go eat because I can tell my blood sugar is like getting wacky. You know, the older I get, Flea. You know, yeah, I mean, you know how it is. I mean, you're about what, a year away from the nursing home, Flea?
I get the Denny's discount this year.
Oh well,
I believe I have gotten the Denny's discount this year, so I'll take you out to eat.
fucking a, right on, man. I'm still a couple of years away from that, Flea. You know what I'm saying? Although if I didn't dye my hair, I probably would get away with ordering from that menu. But
It's so
uh,
funny. I have not used my senior discount yet, but I'm
yeah,
fixing to.
you
I've
better.
just, they're gonna card me. I know they will.
Yeah, you better. Uh, well, do more stuff, Benetti. Yeah, I agree, Fuzzy. 988, dial that number if you're in trouble. I'll see you guys next week, just myself. No DT next week, but the following week is where we're aiming to come back. So that should be a lot of fun. You guys aren't going to want to miss that, but you'll have more doses of me next week. The ratings have suffered big time since we've taken
Really?
DT. Oh man, I mean,
I'm sorry, man. We'll
it.
just get back at it. We'll
We'll,
start doing some
we'll
funny
get back at
shit
it.
and
We'll get back at it. The people will come back. All right, everybody. Love you guys. Have a great, great rest of your day. It looks like Fabris says, "How about set up a homeless march to Washington D.C., starting on the West Coast?" Um,
oh, homeless, right? Left. Let's all go fight for our rights.
that would be really nice, Fabris. But I am getting older, and my hips ain't gonna fucking take me from the West Coast to the East Coast, man. Love the idea of that. All right, take care. Have a great rest of your weekend. Grinders tonight on the channel, so you guys will hear me tonight on the channel. So
Oh, you're riding the grinder train, are you?
I am. I brought Grinders to the main.
You
Uh,
didn't get that joke, did you?
what? Oh, you mean like the Grinder, the app? Yeah. Fuck you, fool.
I know you're talking about our
I'm
Pete
not. I'm
Grinder.
not man bear pig. Okay. I'm not sticking microphones down my mouth. You know. You know what I mean. I use a wheelchair. So.
Okay.
All right. Take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys tonight. Actually, later, everybody.
Bye, everybody.